Can you guys hear me?
Chat, and then we can
The other
have
group
it all
I'm
there.
in, yeah, we run Discord, then Roll20, and they kind of layer them together.
What is my username? I never remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
I never have to remember. Okay.
Can you guys hear me? Bear with me if you're watching. Hey, can you guys hear
I
me?
see him.
Am I in?
Why aren't you working?
Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Yay!
I don't know why my video is not working all of a sudden. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna.
You in stereo.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this on. No one can hear or see me. Is that better?
Yeah. All right. One more and you are golden.
Can everyone hear me as well?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes. This is excellent news because you guys I've been talking and you guys haven't heard anything.
Um, if I could ask for someone to put headphones on. It's just echoey.
Oh, he's muted as well.
So is it me?
Mm, hold on. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Steven, I think the echo might be coming from your computer. Do you by chance have headphones handy?
Oh, it's coming from mine, you think?
I think so.
All right. Let me mute myself, and then you guys tell me if it's still there.
Check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah, that's weird. But you have headphones in. So that doesn't make sense.
Are the headphones?
It looks like David's still unmuted on roll 20. Does that?
Well, I can hear myself.
Steve, I can't see you right now. I don't know how to make it so I can.
Check.
But are you
Yep,
wearing?
yep.
Oh, there it is. Are you wearing earbuds? Maybe. Yeah.
Check. Why?
Let's see.
Check. Yep, I'm hearing it on. Well, now it's all usernames. Dang it!
I think it was S. Roach, Steven.
Yes.
I think all of mine shut off. How's this?
Sounds good to me.
I'm sorry, this is David. I was wondering how mine's sounding.
Sounds good.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Yep, great. I think the issue was that Dave, you're hearing me twice. Why won't it let me mute? Just let me mute. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Hold on, let me read.
I turned it to none. How do you mute on roll 20?
Let me mute. Just let me mute.
Okay,
Why?
come on.
That doesn't make any sense. Hold on, let me read.
I turned it to none. How do you mute on roll 20?
So there should be an option that Maxwell has to mute everyone, or at least each of us individually.
I would like to. Why do I always lose this every time?
Yeah, if you hover over your picture on Roll20,
Yeah.
there should be a little icon for a video and a little icon for a mic,
Yep.
and you should be able to click them.
Oh, here we go.
The other option is you disable your browser's connection to the microphone on this particular website. That's a little bit more in depth.
Okay, I've got to pull mine back up, but I've disabled it on Chrome, so that'll take care of it.
Awesome.
I'm using my phone to do Discord.
It won't let me mute myself. That's so weird. It doesn't give me the option.
It could be the connection, maybe.
All right, let me. Remove permission. How's that?
You sound good. You sound good to
Okay.
me.
Yeah, no echo.
Excuse me. I just muted the site because apparently you can do that. I am
Awesome.
not tech savvy.
I hear you. Also, I went ahead and just muted the entire Chrome, so hopefully that works.
Bueno. I know it's a little difficult to see, so I'll But this is my wonderful tapestry.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
It's just a blanket. But I use it for sound dampening.
It works. Awesome. So I think I'll go ahead and kind of introduce everything. Thank you guys for coming back and trying, the second attempt at this. We have 3 players. I could have sworn there was one other that was maybe going to make it. Let's see.
He was here last time too.
So Cameron's here, Steve's here, David's here, Quentin. Maybe I'll
Quentin
send.
was here last time.
Yeah. I'll send Quentin an email, but you guys can get started in the meantime. As you all know, I'm Justin Lewis from How to Be a Better DM. Thank you guys for coming here. This is, again, my favorite part of doing this podcast because it takes random strangers and it shows the power of D&D at breaking down barriers and making friends really fast. 4 hours, but in a relatively fast manner. Today we have Max Dillard on with us. He's the guest host, and I'll give him a chance to talk about his show and kind of what he does. But just a heads up, we are streaming this live to YouTube. I put the link in the chat on Roll20, so if you want to send that to friends and family, they can watch and enjoy the show. Also, if you get a chance, go to betterdungeonmaster.com/feedback and kind of help us figure out what problems we can help you or other dungeon masters solve in the coming year. I mean, it's 2023, so hopefully we can, make some more better dungeon masters, I guess. I think that's all the announcements from me. I don't know if I said this. I'm not sticking around the whole time. I actually got some family stuff to go take care of. But Max, you guys are in good hands. He's awesome. He's really funny. And
It's debatable.
yeah, I think you guys are going to have an excellent game. So Max, it's all yours. I am going to mute myself, and if you guys have any questions or anything, Max, feel free and text me, and I can help with anything. But have a good game, guys.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Help. I'm just
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. I am Max. I will be your dungeon master for the evening. I had previously introduced myself a little bit. I am the current DM for a different podcast called Not So Super Dungeon Bros. It is a actual play podcast with a bunch of really just idiots trying to play Dungeons and Dragons. We are currently in season 3. We just started season 3. Season 1 I was not a part of. I was asked to join on season 2 as a player. And we didn't really wrap it up very fully, but the DM, a lot of life stuff. You know how Dungeons and Dragons works, so we kind of jumped around for a little bit, and we've finally settled into a 3rd season, titled Bromanji. So if you want a Jumanji-esque, maybe not so jungle-esque, but kind of the whole premise is they're stuck in a video game. So if that sounds funny, go ahead and give it a listen. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I don't know, 2017, so not super long. Jumped in with 5th edition and instantly fell in love with it. I love world building. That is my favorite part of the whole process, and so I love creating new worlds with full maps and geography and economies and governments, and it's a fun way for me to basically write a book without having to be good at English, because I was never good in English class. So that's a little bit about me. We'll just kind of go around, and if you could give a little intro about maybe your Dungeons and Dragons experience, and then there will be a point where we can kind of introduce everybody's characters. So let's see. Let's go ahead and we'll start with Steve.
Yeah. Hey guys, Steve. I've been playing D&D for a number of years, off and on. Probably like many here, COVID kind of ignited D&D again. Honestly, I've been playing a lot of old school D&D, where I play a lot of, there's a company called Necrotic Gnome that rewrote AD&D 1E and the basic stuff. And just been playing a ton of like AD&D 1E version. And then I found a local group about a year ago. And I'm currently playing in a 5e game. So still struggle with the 5e rules. I guess through and through like the old AD&D 1 stuff.
The classics are classic for a reason.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. Cameron. Sure. The struggle of the eternal DM. I understand it very well. Very cool. Awesome. And I believe that just leaves David.
Hi. Yeah, I started playing back in first edition and then moved on to second edition back in high school and college. And after, oh, I don't know, college and Ruins of Undermountain and stuff like that, life got busy and stopped. Thankfully, my wife enjoyed it and still does, I'd like to say. And so our daughter got back into it and kind of drug us back into it here recently, and hooked back up with the virtual tabletops with some old friends we used to play with. And now, one, I'm in a campaign. It's about to wrap up. We're like level 16, 17 right now. And I started running my own campaign, and I hadn't DM'd in a long time. And so just jumped right into Horde of the Dragon Queen, and that's taken a lot of adjustments because it asks you to flesh out a lot of stuff. And so I've learned a lot over the past year, working on that and realizing the time involved. But it's fun. I've always enjoyed DMing, and I do tend to be the eternal DM in all of our groups.
Well, it seems like I am the baby of the group, as I have only ever played 5th edition. And all of you have at least at some point played 1st edition. So I think maybe I need to expand and look into the rewritten AD&D stuff, because that sounds very cool. But hopefully this is a chance for you to actually enjoy playing, and you can forget your DM worries for at least a night. I will warn you, like I mentioned earlier, I wrote this for the holidays, but with scheduling, we're doing it in January, so it's gonna be a little Christmassy. So buckle up for that, I guess, is all I have to say about that. Is there anything else anyone else wanted to mention? See, I'm used to the podcast format, so that I'm used to just a bunch of idiots yelling at me the whole time. This is actually really nice to have quiet. It's a wonderful change of pace. Okay. We begin. We find our party in the aftermath of the winter solstice. This most joyous time of year, which normally brings a sense of merriment, peace, and excitement to the world, has been bombarded with dreariness, sadness, and pain. It seems like a dark cloud covered the world and has yet to dissipate. And on top of all that, the solstice spirit, which normally brings gifts to the good people of the world, left nothing but rotting food and lumps of coal this year. Many are wondering what has happened to anger the solstice spirit. Was the world not worthy of its gifts any longer? Had it grown tired of bringing joy? Speculation has spread through the town and into the Grand Hall, home to the Jarl, who has asked the party to join him for this solstice celebration. Gathered around the large hearth in the Jarl's study sits... how many of you are there? Jeez Louise. 4. There's 4 high-backed chairs. The Jarl, a burly man with a salt and pepper beard and a receding hairline, sits in his lounging attire at the hearth with a stern look of concern on his face, staring into the coals of the fire. The wood and leather-decorated room is lit only by the small fire in the hearth and a few candelabras scattered throughout the rather large study. Bookshelves line the walls from floor to ceiling, some intersected by catwalks built halfway for easier access. There are a number of tables to sit and do work at, as well as the Jarl's large 35 desk 35 feet in front of the fireplace with a small globe of the world sitting on it. As we go around the room, let's go around the table or Discord server and introduce our characters and give a little description on what you look like and maybe what you might be doing in the study at this moment. I will let you know that as of this, you have all worked together in the past and know each other, so no need to necessarily do a character introduction to each other. Let's go back in the same order. Steve, if you want to introduce your character to us.
Yeah, my character is Churin Ludruk. I'm gonna go with Max. You made up the name, so I'm probably butchering it. I apologize.
Sure. It just generates one
Does
when I
it
create the
auto-generate?
page. So there you go.
I wasn't sure if you wanted me to keep their name. Anyway,
No. You do what you want to do.
So Churin is a high elf. So he's probably about 5'6". He has, unlike most high elves, he has gray hair. He comes from a background, he was raised by his grandparents. His parents were killed in a war. So, educated, lived in, wasn't by any means in squalor, highly educated, and always took towards the arcane magic education. And he just, since his parents were dazed, just always had this, were dead and raised by his grandparents, always had this wanderlust, always looking to get out and adventure, and not so much for profit, but to gain more arcane magic, find magical items, and really see the world. It's not so much about, lots of golds and jewels and gems.
Very cool. So what do you think Chorin is doing at the moment? You have been invited into the Jarl's house to what would normally be celebrate the winter solstice with him, but with how things have gone this year, things are a little glum, and it seems like the mood is a little low. So what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Yeah, so Churin's probably pulling up a seat at the fireplace. Certainly looking around, trying to get a feel for the room that he's in, the house that he's in, and trying to generate some friendly conversation.
Wonderful. We'll keep going around the table with David.
Okay. What you see is a half elf that's dressed fairly nicely, and he's strumming a lute. His name is Alex Andrite, and he's quite the performer, and he's probably not doing an upbeat tune at this time. He's just kind of strumming, and it's kind of a sad thing because it just has, that's the mood and the atmosphere that's currently going on. And his background is that pretty much his, of course, parents being, elven and human weren't well received in various areas, so they kind of lived off to the side and not really engaging in a lot of things. And so his father was always critical, and he ran away when he could, and he kind of joined a entertaining group and found he had some skills that kind of developed into him being a bard. He's about 5'8", brown hair, I believe, is what I said on him. I don't think I actually have that listed. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
And kind of his moods definitely change. They're up and down and everything, but typically an upbeat character. And definitely likes to get into trouble, and his mouth can run away with him. And so he's not the wisest or most intelligent one, but he does try to talk himself out of trouble.
Very good. And finally, we'll go with Cameron. It's just a party of elven boys. All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be level 6, so on your character sheet, next to where it says spells, if you click the little settings cog, you can scroll down to I believe it says level up. And then yep. That not a problem at all. Not a problem. Wonderful. As the dreary song is being played on the lute, the Jarl kind of speaks up. He's I can't believe this would happen. What could have happened to cause this? The solstice not coming. Why would he forget us? And as he says that, there's a slight cough as you hear a voice come from the fire in the hearth itself, and you I have not forgotten you. And as you look into the coals, you see the face of a rather pudgy man with a little button nose and a large mustache, kind of in the same style as Sirius Black in the Harry Potter movies, if you will. And he looks around the room a little bit, and he continues, "An imposter imprisoned me, and is using my position for personal gain. Little did he know that there can be no personal gain from my position. There is only good to be sent to the world.
and he has decided that I and the world must suffer because of it. I've been unconscious for some time. Please, I need you to help me.
You see the Jarl very confusedly looks into the fire and then looks around the room and turns to all of you and just says, "Do any of you know anything about this?"
How can we help you?
Well, to put it bluntly, I need you to jump into this fire.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so here's how it works. I'm stuck in a dungeon. I can get you to the demi-plane that I live on through the chimney. But to do that, you kind of have to jump into the fire. I know it's a big ask. I know. I'm sorry.
What's the looking at the Jarl?
Oh,
What's he doing about that? Or what's his reaction to what's being said?
He is incredibly confused and looks to the fire and then looks at you and looks to the fire and is just kind of like, "Well, I mean, you got to do it, right? I mean, that would kind of solve everybody. Like the whole world's kind of in a bad place right now. Like you kind of have to, right?"
So
I don't know if I've had enough drink to go jump in the fire.
So I got an idea. I have a quarterstaff, so I'll just kind of poke it in the fire and see if I find anything magical about the fire. I mean, I'm clearly kind of enthralled with the thought that this might be some type of magical fire.
Sure. You take your quarterstaff and you go and poke it into the fire, and it kind of hits the solstice spirit in the coal-filled face, and he kind of like he winces a little bit and then realizes it's not his real face and he can't feel anything. He goes,
Okay. So I know this sounds crazy, but as long as I have control of this fireplace, it's not going to hurt you. But it is going to transport you to a demi-plane. Does that make sense?
All right, I'm up for giving it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll take a jump in first.
"All right, cool." You take a jump in, and as you do, you you jump into the large hearth, and it's rather tall. It's maybe 6 feet tall. Currently, the fire in it is rather small, but you jump into the fireplace, landing on the soot created face of this solstice spirit, and you just hear him go,
Okay, all right, you're not going to get hurt, but just hold on just 1 second.
and you're kind of standing there in the fire. Nothing seems to happen to you. You're not burning. You're not moving anywhere. But he says, "Okay, everything's gonna go off in just a second. I just real quick. One of two things is gonna need to happen. I either need you to come free me, which might, that is gonna have its own sort of difficulties, or I need you to go take out this imposter. Also not going to be very easy. You can do one and then the other. You could, I wouldn't advise splitting up in my fortress. It's kind of a maze through there. But I'm going to need a little help eventually. So once you get here, y'all can decide what you think is best. Are you ready?"
Yep.
"Oh, okay." And as you're already standing in the fire, you see your companion goes up in flames as the fire completely consumes him, and then he is gone.
Well, shit, you don't see that every day.
He seems to just be gone.
No smell of burnt elf.
No smell of burnt elf, thankfully.
Okay. Well, I'm going to drain my tankard and say, well, based on all that, what the hell? I'll go jump in the fire.
As you jump in, you are also consumed as the fire increases and consumes you, and you are gone.
I'm going to scream.
But as all of you disappear from this realm and enter a new one, you all appear poof, 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 one after each other, in a similar sized hearth. But the one that you appear in, there is no fire. It appears to have been put out and has gone cold for some time. You step out of this fireplace and looking around, you don't see much. It is a rather dreary, dull looking stone room. There are some pieces of furniture that have sheets placed over them that have gathered quite a bit of dust. But at first glance, I will let you know, you don't seem to notice any creatures up and about. What would y'all like to do?
Well, guess I'd like to roll perception and see if there's a way out. What the room looks like, what our options are.
Sure. Let's get the first roll of the game.
Oh, not that good.
Well, 11's not too bad. With an 11, you step out of the room. You take a look around. Like I mentioned, there are a number of pieces of furniture with white sheets over them, and a pretty thick layer of dust. But you do notice that on the other side of the room from where you are currently standing, there is just a plain door that appears to lead out of this room.
Okay, guys, do we mess with the sheets here and remove them off the furniture and look around, or do we just head out the door?
Max, is there dust on the floor?
Not as much as on the furniture, but yeah, there is also dust on the floor.
Okay. Is there any way to tell if there's been a lot of movement from the around the room or from the fireplace that we're in?
Ooh, very, very good. Give me a survival check.
Survival.
All right, with a 16, it doesn't appear that there have been any other footprints leading out of the fireplace. And looking around real quickly before you guys, disturb the area too much, it doesn't appear that anything substantial has been through here. There are, really small, maybe mouse footprints throughout the chamber, but it doesn't appear that there has been anything worth noting that
Okay.
has entered the area.
Yeah, I'm with you if you want to take a peek at some of this furniture before we go mess with the door.
Cool. Let's no roll necessary. It's pretty straightforward. You walk over. It's a low piece of furniture, rather long. You would assume it's probably a couch or a sofa of some kind. And as you pull away the white sheet, dust kicks up in the air. You kind of have to squint your eyes a little bit so you don't get too much in the eyes. But underneath sits a rather nice crushed velvet red couch with some nice gold kind of trim and studs keeping it together. It is in very good condition, and it seems like whoever put this wanted to keep it that way. So it doesn't seem like this is necessarily a disheveled place. It's just maybe hasn't been used in a while.
Okay.
There, on one of the walls sits a large rectangular piece, also covered in a white sheet, and next to the couch there is also a small, what appears to probably be a table. It's sort of a round shape, with the cloth draped over it. Cool. You remove the sheet from the table. It's a very nice, dark wood table, very well made. Nothing particularly special about it. But as you remove the sheet from the large, what you now know to be a wardrobe, you notice that it has a similar sort of vibe, I guess would be the right word, as the couch. It's this very nice wood, but it has sort of this gold filigree and intricate metal work kind of throughout. Very swirly. There are a number of small sort of silver, what look to be snowflakes kind of peppered around. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be locked or anything, if you would like to open it.
Yeah, let's
Let's take
open
a
it.
look.
You open the wardrobe, and a giant tongue comes out. No, I'm just kidding. It was a mimic the whole time. No, you open the wardrobe, and inside is just 6 or 7 large red coats with a rather large white sort of puff around the cuffs and the neck. And it definitely smells like mothballs when you open it.
Should someone try one on to see if anything happens?
Not really my color, but go ahead.
All right, Max, I'll slip one on.
Sure. You pull it off of the gold-plated hanger that it sits on, and as you place it on, you slip your arms in, place it on your shoulders. This thing is gigantic. It is made for someone much bigger than you, not only in height and probably weight, but in just overall size in every direction. Whoever is supposed to wear this is probably 9 or 10 feet tall,
Wow.
and this essentially is a full-size dress on you. But nothing magical seems to happen at first. And then you kind of adjust yourself in it, get a little comfortable in it, and as you are wearing it, you feel it start to shrink and get smaller and smaller until it fits onto your body perfectly.
Hmm. Okay. I'll check. Are there pockets in this coat?
There are 2 pockets in the front.
Okay.
As you slip your hand into one of them, you pull out. Well, it's a mothball. You just pull it. It's a mothball.
Okay.
That's all that seems to be in it at the moment. But as you put it on, there was a bit of a draft in this room. Seeing as how there hasn't been a fire in the hearth for quite some time, it's pretty chilly. But even with how chilly it is and kind of how this jacket fits you, you feel a warmth come over your entire body, as if this jacket is keeping you at a perfect temperature.
All right. I'm gonna keep it on. It's just the jacket, right? It's not a cloak.
Correct. Yeah, just a jacket.
All right. I'm gonna keep it on, and unless you guys think it's a bad idea.
That's a good look for you.
Maybe somewhere through this dungeon, this will help us. Who knows?
Very good. Anything else
All
you'd
right.
like to do in this room? Cool. All right. So you guys go to the other end of the room, and you, let's get a bit of a marching order for how we're gonna exit this room.
So we have a wizard, bard, and Cam. What are you? Okay. Okay. You okay leading? All right. And
All right.
David, if
And
you
I'll
want
do
the
a
middle
second.
or rear, I'll take either of those positions.
I'll take the middle.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna take V, and then Chorin, and then Alex. Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Swap that.
Alex is second.
Thank
Yeah.
you. The only problem with playing with people you've never played with before, you don't know voices yet. Okay.
I hear you.
We got V, then Alex, then Chorin exiting the room. V, as you go to open the door, how are you exiting? Are you making are you gonna be taking it nice and easy and slow, or are you just gonna kind of burst out and hope for the best? It is a round handle that would open in toward you. All right, cool. Go ahead and give me a perception check. All right. Sure. So you have it set to automatically roll with advantage, which is fine, but when it's not advantage, you would just take the first one. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. So a 9. As you look out the hall or out the door into the hall around you, you look down to the right, you look down to the left. You don't notice very much. It seems like this is a stone hallway, and every, I don't know, maybe 8 or so feet, there seem to be braziers on the walls lighting the hallway. There does seem to be a red uh, runner, I guess would be the right word, a rather long rug that runs down the entirety of the hallway. It's hard to tell from your quick glance how far down it goes in each direction, but it does seem to only go right and left. Okay. As you
Left or right?
Dude, how far can we? Do the hallways go beyond our?
Ooh, you all have dark vision because you're all elf boys. All right. Let's see. Let me have the other two of you give me perception checks as well.
Yeah.
Infra what? Wow. Instead of dark vision.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. I have very, very, very basic knowledge of Thaco, and it terrifies me. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick to my incredibly simple armor class.
Well, what's nice is they reversed it.
Yeah,
You did an ascending armor class, and you got rid of Thaco. So you like no doing math on the fly.
Yeah, that's too much math.
Yeah.
All right. So with an 18 and a 23, as the two of you step out of the room and look down the hall, to the left, you notice the hallway seems to be getting darker. It seems the farther down the hall it goes, less and less braziers are lit, until it is basically just a dark end. To the right, it appears that it goes down for maybe 60 or so feet before it splits into another set of hallways, going in either direction, as well as continuing forward. So you're kind of set with the option of dark dead end or potential running into other creatures.
So up to you guys. I'm up for whatever the party is up for. But if we're gonna go eventually go right, I'd like to go to left and figure out this dead end just to make sure there's nothing there to gonna jump us from behind.
I was thinking left myself.
Okay. Consensus.
Very good. Okay, are you guys just gonna head down there, or would you like to be stealthy?
I'd vote for
I
stealthy.
think stealthy.
Very well. If everyone could go ahead and give me some stealth checks, please.
All right.
Natural 20. Very nice.
Ooh.
Well, you can't win them all. Okay. So for those who are new to the Roll20 program, if it's green, that means you got a nat 20. If it's red, that's a nat 1. Not so great. But so we got a 22, a 9, and a 14. Okay. As you guys make your way down the hall, trying to keep your footsteps as light as possible, trying to stick to this red runner that runs down in each direction, you hear the slight echo of clip clop, and you realize it's not in the same gate as your feet. And you start making your way further and further down the hall. The braziers begin becoming fewer and far between. It begins to get darker and darker, and you notice the runner on the ground begins to kind of not fade. It begins to sort of wear thin, and then eventually kind of tears away as you approach the very end of this room, or sorry, this hallway, to find a single large door that has been barred and has a large lock keeping the bar in place.
Listening at the door, do we hear anything? I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're all going to approach the door. The hallway is about 15 feet wide. Oh, no. Yeah, it's about 15 feet wide. It's maybe 20 feet tall. It's a rather large hallway. And the door at the end of the hall takes up like a good amount of the wall. It's not like a normal sized wall. It's maybe 8 feet wide by 10 feet tall. It's a very chonky door. Sure. Okay.
I'm gonna watch behind us while he does that.
Okay. All right. Let me double check. All right. Sorry, like I said, voices. Who is approaching the door? Okay. V, can I get you to make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Nice.
Very good. A 22. Okay. All right. You're only going to take half damage. You're going to take... Let's roll some dice real fast. You take 12 points of cold damage. As you get close to the door, you very quickly see a glyph appears on the ground right in front of the door. It glows this icy white blue glyph and explodes into a tornado of snow and ice, pelting you with hail and icicles. Not a great feeling. I will say, at level 6, I think you have, what is it called? Now that I can't remember. I believe you have, level 7, you get evasion. So if you, at level 7, if you would have passed, you would have received no damage. All right. So yeah, just the 12 points, yeah. But after it kind of pops off, it seems to dissipate and leaves just the locked door in front of you. rightly so, I would say.
And that was just from touching it, huh? The
Well, I thought he was. I thought he was listening. I mean, I could. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess I can investigate and then listen at the door. See
before you do
if
that,
there's any, yeah.
Max, that glyph that appeared,
Mm-hmm.
did it make any sense to any of us?
If if you want to make a Arcana check.
Okay.
Me too, or just him?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh, he got it.
Oh,
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Natural one.
Yeah.
With a 23, you know that was the spell Glyph of Warding, and you know that after it pops off, it dissipates.
Okay. So I'll tell everybody. I think we're safe now, and I'll go up for a listen.
All right, go ahead and give me a, let's see, let's do an investigation check. Ooh, very good. With a 19, you put your ear up to the door. And at first, it's kind of hard to hear. This sounds like a thick door. But you sit there for a minute or so, really trying to focus. And you hear the sound of chains rustling on the other side.
Okay. Tell these guys what I've heard. And before we get too far along, is it okay if I do a quick spell?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Great, yeah.
So, do I just? Is there a certain way to trigger that for these sheets, or?
Excuse me. On the sheet, on the page where it says spells,
Yep.
if you have it set up that you've added the number of slots that you should have, when you click on it, it should remove the spell slot. But as far as adding it to your AC automatically, it won't do that.
Okay. So I need to go modify that. Okay.
Yes, correct.
So I think slots remaining. Why would my slots remaining all be 0?
You may have to just
Oh, you gotta adjust it each day?
yeah.
Okay. So let me. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Adjust this real quick. And try to see if that takes one away.
And if not,
I'm gonna
you
do
know,
a manual. Okay.
Yep, just do a little manual.
All right, 3 slots there. Okay. And then I'll do my AC. That should bring my AC to 15 because it's 13 plus the dex bonus, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, sorry for the hold up.
No, totally fine. You very cautiously surround yourself in a magical set of armor, preparing for what might be behind the door. What is your plan now?
So I told the guys what I heard. It sounds like some chains rustling. Could we have already found the room?
Possibly.
No other doors along this hallway that we came down, correct?
Not in the direction you headed, no.
Okay. His pet red dragon, maybe?
Well, should we Should we ask it who he is?
Good point. We could do that.
Okay. I speak Elvish, Common, and Orc. So, I mean, I certainly will can go up to the door and try to talk to it. Probably in Common.
You're certainly welcome to try.
Eh.
All right, as you get closer,
I'm gonna
to
go
the door,
up.
What are you gonna say?
Hi, hello there. Who are you? We're saw there's a locked door and trying to figure out who's in here.
As you
Hey,
speak
happy
through,
to meet you out. Yeah.
as you speak through the door, you can all now hear the rustling of chains, and it sounds like quite a few sets of chains that are all kind of rustling together and jangling behind the door, but you don't hear any voice come back.
Wow. Okay. No voices. I mean, I can try again in Elvish.
Why not? Yeah.
Okay. Try it again in Elvish and hello, who are y'all? Is there anything we can do to help? Why are you in here?
You once again, you all hear, and it seems like the intensity of these chains is getting louder and louder, and you actually start to hear. It sounds like clopping on the stone floor, and you hear. Maybe it's something breathing heavily. Maybe it's something trying to pull at the chains. Maybe it's a lot of somethings trying to pull at these chains.
No way of telling how many.
Not at this moment.
Okay.
It's quite the cacophony on the other side.
Got it. Guys, I say we try to open a door and take
Maybe
a peek
it's a
in.
history check.
Sure, yeah.
Let's say maybe it's a history check, but is there anything associated with this fellow? Oh, geez.
That you're
Not
aware
me.
of, not really.
Somebody
Not with
else,
that nat
right?
one.
Yeah. I'm getting them all out of the way.
Yeah, no, it's better to do it now. From your recollection, there doesn't seem to be anything associated that you would imply would be on the other side of this door.
All right. Well, I don't have lock picking tools, but I'm sure I know I got a dagger. We can try to take care of this lock.
The large lock on the bar is secured. But if you would like to attempt to unlock it, you are certainly welcome to try.
Is that a sleight of hand or what?
Yeah. So I'll have you do a sleight of hand with disadvantage because you're just trying to use a dagger.
13.
13, still not too bad. You take the point of the dagger, and this lock is large. It is dinner plate sized lock,
Wow.
like cartoony like very classic looking lock, and you can almost look into it and see the tumblers. And so you take it in one hand, with the other hand you very carefully get the point of your dagger in there, and 1, 2, 3, click, and the lock unlocks.
Sweet. All right.
You
Y'all
remove
ready
the
to-
lock, but the door is still barred. Oh, this will be so fun. Just give me an athletics check just for kicks and giggles. You go to lift it and you
All right,
realize
so what?
it's probably going to take all three of you to move it to the side. And so all three of you get underneath it, and with the power of friendship, you're able to remove the bar from the door.
Hey Max, which way does the door open?
The door is going to open inward.
Into the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
open it.
You open the door, and as it swings open, you see, lit by moonlight through very small windows towards the top of the room, 8 large reindeer, all shackled together, very violently, jumping up and down at the sound of someone's voice for the first time in who knows how long. They all seem incredibly thin, bone, skin wrapped tightly around bone, faces gaunt. It seems like the only thing that has kept these things alive is the fact that they are magical creatures, but they have not been cared for in any way.
Is it a lock that's on the chain that's holding them, or like how would we free? Do we see a way to free them?
It looks like it is one central lock that locks them essentially in a large loop. So they all have sort of a bridle on them, and this large chain is strung through each of their rigging and locked together at one point.
Okay.
Is anyone good at animal handling?
You certainly can. As wow, the nat ones are flowing like wine, and it is beautiful. You approach, and these creatures are just so excited to see another a humanoid face for the first time in forever, and are violently jumping up and down. And as you try to approach, they kind of hit you, and you don't take any damage, but they kind of push you back a bit, and you fall down onto the ground. They seem a little too excited at the moment.
Yeah. Can we assume we have any rations with us, or packs or anything?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out some whatever rations I have and kind of throw them down for them, and I'm gonna roll animal handling also, and kind of playing the lute, kind of some kind of soft type music, trying to calm them down.
Sure.
Oh, geez, that sucks.
Well, it's not a nat one, so it's better than that. But you throw
It's a
some
4.
rations down, and they just start going crazy and like all trying to get at it. Antlers are flying all around. It turns into quite the scene. But after you do notice, and remind me, which one of you threw the Santa jacket on?
I did.
Okay.
Steve, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Charin.
Chorin. As you notice, they begin to freak out a bit. And once they get the smallest amount of food in them, because these are rather large deer. They all get a bit of food in them, and they start to settle down, and they notice the red coat you're wearing, and they all kind of perk up a bit and just kind of stare at you.
All right, I'm gonna walk over and take a look at this lock that's holding them and see if I can figure out a way to free them.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check real quick.
Investigation.
And the story is about to tell itself. I love it. You go to investigate this lock, and as you do, you feel a slight weight shift in the jacket. And as you reach down into the pocket to figure out what just happened, you pull out a key.
Okay. See if it fits in the lock.
It fits perfectly into the lock.
All right. Let's let them out of there then.
As you turn the lock and release the chain from it, they very quickly all get into a formation that allows you to pull the chain free without any issue, and they all stand at attention, still staring at you.
All right. I look at the other two guys, and they're clearly looking for some type of command. Let's pull out some more rations and make sure they all get a little bit. But I don't know what to do command wise for them. Is there a way out of this room besides the door?
There are these rather small windows, maybe a foot by a foot, that are barred.
Okay.
Metal bars filling them up towards the very top of this room. And this room is just a little taller than the hallway was, maybe 25 feet tall. But it's definitely not, they're not big enough windows for even you guys to get out of.
Okay. So I think.
So, DM, remind me, what was the name of this person for the winter solstice?
Just the solstice spirit. You can call him Santa if you want, but
Okay. Okay. All right, guys, let's go find Santa.
Yeah,
I'm going to
just
say
leave them in
that
this
out
room then.
loud to the. I was thinking maybe they could lead us to Santa. Maybe they know where he's at.
As soon as you say, let's go find Santa, they all line up in 2 by 2 into 4 rows and begin marching down the hall. And as they begin making their way further and further down the hall, they start to pick up speed. And then all of a sudden, you hear the clashing of antlers against each other. But they're a little too far down the hall to see what's going on.
Let's run down there and see what's going on. Alex he's going to run down there.
That's a fair response. As you guys make your way down the hall, closer and closer to this ruckus, the braziers begin to reappear in the hall, and the red carpet lining the floor begins to reappear, and it gets a lot nicer is probably the easiest way to describe it. It turns less into a dungeon looking area into more of a nice estate. But that is quickly destroyed as you see all 8 of these reindeer are currently attacking what appeared to be a number of skeletal reindeer. Essentially just charging at each other, antlers pointed forward, and it appears that they have taken the brunt of this and are currently fighting off a number of other enemies.
First attack.
Cool. Let's roll initiative real quick. Oh, wonderful. Okay. All right, so we got, let's see, it's Alex, and then I'll let V and Chorin decide who would like to go first.
Go ahead, Cam.
All right.
I believe we both rolled a 2.
All right, so first up, let's see. One more. Oh, come on, computer. I believe in you. Okay. First up is Alex. I'm on mute? No. Make sure I got that right. Oh, you know what? I do actually. Let me move
So
you guys
funny. I
over.
was just going to ask that.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right. So let me pull up some deer. Oh, you know what? That's a lot of deer. We'll do our best. Tokens. Where did my tokens go? You know what? There are too many deer involved in this fight, so we'll do Theater of the Mind for this one, as it is probably going to go pretty quick, to be honest. There are a lot of deer. So, I believe up first is Steve. No, sorry, David. First up, David. I can't hear you. Come back to me.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you. Are they all grouped together for area effect, or is it kind of individual? I'm going to get both the good reindeer and the skeletals.
There are enough. There are. So I'll paint a little picture. There are currently 4 skeletal reindeer, in this 15-foot wide hallway. It appears that 2 of them are currently engaged with 2 of the normal reindeer up towards the kind of front. There are 2 more about 10 feet behind those skeletal reindeer, and then the other 6 regular reindeer are kind of lined up all behind. So it's essentially two parties, one of 8 and one of 4, that have come and collided together.
Okay. Well, I would like to cast a Shatter, and that's a 60-foot radius or 60-foot range. And each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on the point that I make must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
And so I'd like to do that in such a way that I get the skeletal ones.
Absolutely.
There we go. And not the friendlies.
Sure. Let's see. I know it technically says made of inorganic material, but these are just bones. So I'm going to give them disadvantage because that seems right. So let's see. One more. Oh,
That did not roll good.
that did not roll well. So let's see. That's a
Nope.
Constitution is +1. So I got a 10, an 8, a 6, a 4, and a nat 1. So that's going to be all fails.
All right.
So let's see. What's the damage on that?
That's 10. I did not roll well.
10 damage. Okay. The two skeletal reindeer in the front of this pack that are currently kind of antler locked with 2 other reindeer immediately burst into a cloud of dust and are dissipated into nothingness. The 2 reindeer behind them are not looking great and are sitting at death's door.
All right.
Anything else from you?
No, I think I'm good at this time.
All right. That is going to be these 2 skeletons' turns. They're just going to rush up and attempt to hit to the other reindeer. Both of their attacks are going to hit. Okay, so you see these the last 2 reindeer standing rush up, and conveniently your allied reindeer are up next in the initiative, and you see 4 reindeer, 2 on each side, rushing towards each other. And as they collide, the living reindeer manage to power through, and as they charge forward, antlers forward, they rush straight through the skeletal reindeer as the bones deanimate and drop to the floor, leaving no enemies left in front of you.
Nice.
You guys got lucky. You had some help this time around.
I like it.
My name's Prancer and I'm Vixen.
Just kidding. I'm Fantasy.
Any chance of one of them have a red nose?
Don't tell me how to live my life. You're not my mom.
No, none of
kinda like
them
Cupid.
currently have a red nose. But other than the allied reindeer you have ahead of you, you do have a 3-way fork in the road. But you do notice that the reindeer, as they finish off the last of these enemies, kind of perk up, and their ears begin to turn in each direction, kind of trying to listen for where to go, and they all kind of turn to the left and hone in on something and begin making their way down the hall.
All right, follow.
Okay, I'm
What
going
do
to
you guys think?
follow.
Very good. You guys follow them down the hallway. Your companion reindeer leading the charge ahead of you. As you go farther and farther, excuse me, the hallway goes from this sort of warm interior with nice bright orange braziers, this red runner going down the middle, wooden beams on the ceiling every so often, and it begins growing colder and colder. You notice ice begins to form along the walls and the floor. The braziers go from being a normal orange flame to this strange blue white flame, and the temperature drops significantly until the hallway opens up to a large open room that has at this point been completely filled with ice and snow, and the reindeer rush off down this room, this large hall, and to a side corridor to the right. But at the very end of this room, you see sitting on a large throne that doesn't seem to be natural. It doesn't seem to fit sort of the aesthetic that this room would normally have. It seems to have been placed here. Sits a large bluish gray-skinned giant sitting very nonchalantly, just kind of passively watching these reindeer run through his hall. What
He
would you like
doesn't-
to do?
Oh,
Dude.
wow.
Sorry,
Did he
say again?
notice us yet?
Let me make a roll. Let's roll some dice. He doesn't seem to notice you yet. Let me go ahead and show you. Let me put you guys. I've been trying to find little tokens that would fit each of you guys, but we're gonna do this. You guys. So we have a wizard. We've got a. Let's see.
Just so you know, I'm seeing a blank screen.
What? No. Oh, I know why. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it all black? You can't even see a grid?
You're correct.
Okay. I have
That's correct.
I have the Fog of War set up. I need to remove that. Fog of War. Reveal.
I seem to forget that every time I play.
Can you see now?
I cannot.
Oh, goodness. What have I done? Dynamic lighting off. Save.
Now we can see it.
There we go.
Oh, I can see it.
Wow.
All right. So we
Oh, that's
have a wizard. We have a. Let's see. We'll use. I just want. I just want some cool stuff. We'll use this for our bard. So our wizard is, if you zoom in a little bit, I'm kind of zoomed out. Our wizard is in a blue cloak. Our bard is in sort of a purple-ish deal. And we'll throw
Yeah.
our monk into some green. I know this guy has a sword, but sorry. Makes it a little easier to separate the three of you. So you guys are currently all facing the wrong direction, but for the sense of this, you guys are essentially down here at the sort of the bottom of this map, and have quite a bit of distance before you would reach this giant sitting at the other end.
Okay, and the reindeer have already ran through and went a certain direction. Is that correct?
Yes, the reindeer ran up to basically the center of this kind of circle, correct, and off to the right.
Okay. I'm kind of good with following the reindeer as long as nothing kind of attacks us as soon as we go into that circle.
Well, so what do you guys think? We're gonna have to engage that giant, right? So do we try to communicate, or do we take the stance that we're gonna jump right into a fight and get around before he has a chance to react? It's always the question. Do we try to see if he's a friendly before we start firing? Okay. So maybe get up to that circle area in the middle and ask him who he is, what he's doing here.
Now, let me add this that if we're not following the reindeer, we're going to lose them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, very possible. But if we get up to that middle and start to head through the right corridor and this thing starts chasing us.
DM or Max, how tall are these statues and how big is this thing on the throne? Can they make it through these corridors?
Yeah, so the giant sitting on the throne is he's tall. He's a big boy. He would have to, I mean, he could get through the halls, but he would probably have to slouch just a little bit, crouch down a little. The statues surrounding this middle area are even bigger than he is. They are very, very large, maybe 30 or so feet tall. And it is a little misleading, but I had implied that the stairs leading up to this, it was only maybe 5 or so feet, not necessarily, a 30-foot stairway.
So here's an option, guys, if you want. I could use my 3 spell slots and make us all invisible. And then we can continue on with the reindeer. I think eventually we come back and we have to fight this giant if he's the one that's holding Santa prisoner. Yeah, I mean we gotta accomplish both goals anyway, right?
Right. I kind of like them. Us being in a hallway where there's kind of limited how many can come at us at a time. That's a good point. Is there any metal on this guy? Is he wearing any metal armor?
As of right now, he's not wearing any metal armor, but you do see he has a large, what appears to be a large sack, clipped to his waist, and a large axe, in one hand, kind of set on the ground a little.
Mm.
And looking at this guy, he doesn't look like he's supposed to be here. He doesn't fit. But very much like you are wearing a red coat, he is also wearing a red coat.
Mm. I think this is our guy.
Yeah, I think this is the big bad.
He didn't seem bothered by it.
He may not have been the one that locked him up. I mean, would he have fit through that door where the reindeer were?
He would have had to, it would have been a chore, but he probably could have attempted it.
Okay. So chances are he didn't lock them up. I mean, that was a big lock on the door. We should go back to that. Maybe he did.
Well, barring a quick reaction or something like that, I mean, it's less than 30 feet from one stair or one corridor to the other. We can get into that, and if he chases us, he's going to be hunched over, trying to get through the hallway.
You could.
$30.
Does it look like slick in here, or what's the floor look like? Are we gonna have trouble traversing it going through?
It doesn't seem like the floor has gotten any slicker from what it was before.
Okay.
Well, what's the vote? Fight or come back to him?
First,
You broke up there, Cam. Okay, so get to the center of the room and if don't fight them, run down the hallway.
okay. Well, my vote was to kind of stealth by and swing over, but if we want to go ahead and go head up on him, I will be willing to talk to him if you want. Maybe I can try. Yeah.
You certainly can.
If he can, let me see.
I did not pick charm person. Unbelievable.
I can I can heal you. I've got several healing spells, but I'm not a true healer. No. Um, would would this guy actually be considered a person, a humanoid?
He is a humanoid, yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna walk up to the edge of the stairs and cast charm person and hail him in common as oh great, yeah, right about there. We come seeking your wisdom and your condescension.
You're gonna cast charm person.
And yes, and I'll put it right out there. It's a DC 15.
All right. Let's see. All right. I'll roll in front of the board. This guy gets a +3 to wisdom saves. He rolls a 8. He fails. Well,
Nice.
you step up and you make your plea. And what does your charm person look like as you cast this?
Well, as I'm kind of strumming the lute a little bit and, talking about needing his wisdom and his condensation, just kind of see an effect go over him and kind of a muse that somebody would certainly be seeking his advice and his wisdom.
As
And he
you
just, yeah,
No, yeah.
go ahead.
As you strum your lute, the magic of your words begins to float off of the strings and surround his head, and enters his ears, and his eyes kind of glaze over, and he looks down at you and he goes, "Well, I don't know about wisdom, but that is probably the most beautiful sounding thing I've ever heard. I greatly appreciate you coming. I've been so lonely lately. This is so great. What can I do for you?"
Well, tell us your story. Why are you here?
Sure. He doesn't seem to be moving. He's kind of he was kind of slouching into his chair a little bit. He kind of sits up a little straighter and like seems very interested in what you guys are saying.
I think so.
Sure.
I'm going to stay on the stairs.
All right.
I'll go in.
Okay, did I have that? Do I have that right? Opposite. There we go. Pardon me. Yep, you're the green. Jeez, Lord. Okay.
Hey, Max, if it helps, do you know if you want to? It's real easy to give us access to move the tokens.
Yes, I'm going to. Let me.
If you need help with that, let me know.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so if you when you click on one of the icons, a little gear should show up,
Yep.
and then it should say movable by and
Yes.
editable by, and then you pick our characters.
Wonderful. Okay. Our bard is controlled by. Okay, sorry. Which one of you is the bard?
David, right?
David, thank you.
Alex is the bard. Yeah,
Oh.
David or Alex.
You know what? I'm just gonna do this. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Do-do-do-do. Beautiful. You all can move your guy. That'll make life much easier for me. See, I can't trust the people on my podcast to control their own people, because they're a bunch of chuckle fucks. So they're a bunch of man children. I can't trust them. Okay. As you begin to sort of move forward, he looks up and is just like enthralled with your music, and he goes, "Well, you see, it all started when I was a little boy." And he begins to give you his life story, which is way too long and way too personal. And then towards after just a couple minutes, he goes, "And eventually I heard about this guy who could do whatever he wanted up here, and I thought, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna do that." So I came up here, knocked him out, and just decided to do this.
Oh wow, that is totally impressive. How did you manage to do that?
Oh, it was real easy. I just waited until he was asleep, and I conked him on the head real hard, and put him in chains before he could wake up. Had some of my little minions tie up his old reindeer, and I've been sitting comfortable for I don't know. It's been a while now. I've been up here for some time, but what are you guys doing here?
Well,
like you.
we kind of go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, David. No, go ahead.
Well, we just heard about this place and how awesome it was and everything, but now that I talk to you and everything, sounds kind of boring. Isn't there something else you want to do? Somebody of your stature?
Now that you mention it, it has been getting kind of boring. Like, I thought this would be, like, super fun and exciting. But, like, I can't do anything. Like, I thought I'd have, like, this ultimate power and be able to do whatever I want. And it's nothing like that. I'm just like, but at this point, it's like, what do I do? I can't just, like, give up and give it back. Like, he's gonna kill me. I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Well, I got an idea. Why don't you let me take care of the big guy? And why don't you just run off and, do whatever you want out there? I mean, there's got to be something you want to do, right?
I would love to get back to my mammoth herd. I've been so worried about him. I thought I was going to be able to bring him with me, but, the reindeer barely fit around here. Like, getting the mammoths in here. So, you know what? That would be so awesome if you would just handle that for me. Like, the idea of trying to talk to that guy, like, that does not sound like a good time.
You know what? I think I can handle that. So, if you want to get out of here, go ahead, and I'll go take care of the big guy and make sure he doesn't, bother you and find you.
He stands up and he starts to take the coat off and unbuckle the large sack that he has clipped to his belt. This kind of large red satin sack, this bag. And he puts him back onto the chair and he goes,
Oh my gosh, you are such a solid dude. Like, you don't understand how grateful I am that you would do that for me. That is so cool of you.
Yeah, we got it, man.
He starts to walk down towards you guys and just down past the stairs. He goes,
As he's walking by, Max, I'll
Mhm.
say, by the way, where are your minions now?
Well, to be honest, I think those reindeer kind of took him out. I heard some commotion down the hall, and my guys didn't come back, but those guys did. So I was just kind of like, huh. And honestly, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because like, if I'm like, you guys are like my best friends. If I'm being honest, I didn't want to be here much longer anyway. So like, them being gone is like one less thing I have to take care of. So like, yeah, it's just, at this point, I'm out.
All right.
All right.
Let's
We
guys,
got
let's
this,
take a look
man.
at his sack.
Good.
sorry, one more
Okay.
time.
Let's go take a look in his sack before we head down for Santa.
Sure, you guys can take a look. You hear him as his giant footsteps clomp down the stairs and down the hall. And just a few minutes later, you hear a large slam as a door closes. But you go up to the throne and look. You open up the bag, and as you open up the bag, a almost blinding light comes shooting out of it. It is this radiant light that you kind of have to shield your eyes for just a second, and then you get used to it, and you look into the bag, and it's empty.
Hmm.
And you look down into it and you think that I mean, it's why is it glowing if it's empty? But at first glance, it doesn't appear like there's anything inside.
I'm gonna reach in.
You all reach a hand in. Excuse me. You all reach a hand in, and each of you, as you go to grasp at something, your hand touches something, and you pull your hand out, and in your hand is basically just a beam of light. And at first you're kind of confused. You're like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's almost like holding like Zeus's lightning bolt. It's just this short rod essentially of this radiant light. And as you guys stand there with them in your hands, you see they turn into, one turns into a key, and another turns into a wand. And go ahead and give me some insight checks.
Okay.
Insight.
Oh, beautiful. You can kind of deduce that this bag is giving you the item that you need for your situation.
Okay.
Did all three of you reach into the bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll give Alex, you pulled out a key. Chorin, you pulled
Okay.
out a wand. And V, you pulled out what appears to be it's a small fabric cube that appears to be the same color and texture as the red coat. It's yeah, it's maybe an inch by an inch by an inch. Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, more like yeah, more like a
More like a
oversized D6. But you have these items in your possession.
Do I have any idea about the wand?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
23.
Oh, nice.
Nice. You can very clearly tell that this is a wand of dispel magic.
Okay.
Okay.
Cam, do you want me to
Guys, I
cast
say we
detect
head
magic
down.
on your cube? Detect. And you might as well put your key out there too, David. And we'll detect. If we're going to detect,
Okay.
we might as well do on both. Take that.
So you'll be able to see everything magical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So you see the key. The key doesn't seem to be magical. The wand is magical, and it seems to be a wand to cast a spell with. The small cube also appears to be magic. And what's interesting is that the cube glows with a very similar color to the jacket.
Can I do an arcane check on the cube?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. With a 15. You know what? Yeah, what it appears to be is it appears to be essentially a condensed Santa coat, like those towels that you buy that are in a little tight compact cube, and then you add water and they expand. It's essentially the Santa's jacket version of that.
Nice.
I will say you aren't at the moment. You're not sure how to sort of expand it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good call. Yep.
Cool. You guys gonna head down in the same direction as the deer?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very good. If you, you know what? Yeah, someone give me a survival check, or all of you if you'd like.
Wow, I rolled
Oh,
something besides
beautiful.
one.
18, 19,
Whoa.
natural 20 for 21. Beautiful. You all very easily can track what direction the reindeer went. These corridors fork off in so many different directions at so many different points that normally you'd probably get lost pretty quickly, but you very easily can figure out which direction these reindeer went. I mean, there were 8 full-size reindeer, 32 feet, 32 different hooves all pressing into the ground, leaving marks everywhere. It wasn't very difficult to find the direction you needed to head. And after a few minutes, of winding down different corridors, you come to a similarly looking kind of dreary door that has a large lock and is currently barred, and all 8 reindeer sit in front of it. And you do notice that there is kind of an icy blast that had emerged from a similar spot than from the door that you previously checked. And some of the reindeer have kind of frost on their faces from getting a little too close to the door. But as you guys approach, the reindeer kind of part to either side of the hallway to let you guys have access to the door.
Okay.
It sounds like it already went off. I think one of the
Well-
deer got too close.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm just going to go up and put the key in and turn it in the lock.
Cool. You put the key in, and it unlocks the comically large lock. And as it hits the ground, the reindeer start to get very excited, and you see 2 of them actually rush up, and using their antlers, they fling the bar from the door and quickly just burst through the door. They basically break it down, trying to get in. As the door kind of falls off of its hinges and down onto the ground, you can see into this room, very, very similarly to the room that the deer themselves were in, very dimly lit by the moonlight outside. You see a large figure, balding head, large white mustache and beard, sitting in the corner, kind of just slumped against it, his hands and feet shackled together, and the reindeer immediately all run up to him and start licking his face.
Does he look like what we saw in the Coles?
It looks very similar to him, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to see if the key still works on the whatever's holding him there.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You take the key, and as you insert it into this new lock to unlock his shackles, it glows for just a second before the locks disengage and drop to the floor. You see, as they hit the ground, he starts to rub his wrists where the shackles were, and he starts to pet one of the deer that's come to nuzzle up against him, and he says, "Thank you all so much. That was... Man, he got me in my sleep. Did you guys take care of him?"
Sort of. Kind of convinced him to leave and go back to where he came from.
He just left?
I can be very convincing at times.
I mean, I guess I chose really well when I decided to pick you. The 3 of you seemed to get the job done. Well, did he take anything? Like, he just left?
Yeah, your reindeer, between us and your reindeer, we beat his skeleton reindeer. And then my friend here talked him into moving on to something more exciting. Do you have reason to believe that he might come back, or?
I don't.
I think he was
I mean,
bored.
I mean, I can imagine why. he's not going to be able to do much from up here. I mean, the whole point of this whole thing is to help the world, and if you're not going to do that, there's really nothing to do. So I mean, I suppose it makes sense. But I can tell you this, he's not going to pull one over me again. I'm going to have a few more safeguards for when I'm sleeping, and when I'm awake, he's got no chance.
I can believe that. Hey, was it V that had the cube? The one it. Yeah. Why don't you throw that at him or toss it to him?
He takes it, and in his hand, I mean, he's not technically a giant, but this guy is a big guy. He's maybe 8 feet tall. And as you put this 1-inch cube in his hand just dwarfs it. And he goes, you guys reached into the bag, didn't you? And he just kind of crushes it Thanos style to the Tesseract in his hand. And as he does, to keep with the Avengers theme, almost like nanotech Iron Man suit, a red jacket begins to grow up his arm, across his chest, down his torso, and into his legs, and his whole body is covered in a red suit. And with a flash of radiant energy that fills the whole room, his slightly gaunt form begins to fill out. The reindeer themselves begin to become more full, their skeletal bodies beginning to put more meat on, and the cold interior of this building that has been consumed by this giant instantly warms as the whole the entire sort of fortress that you are in grows a warm light, and just the slightest scent of cinnamon floats in the air as he once again regains his power. Yeah, he very quickly claps his hands and he says, "All right, back to work." And you see these small sort of, they're almost just kind of made of light, but almost comically gnome sized, with pointy hats and shoes with little bells at the end, begin to essentially come out of the walls as the power of this being wills this demiplane to his whim, and they begin fashioning different things. You see one of them walks over and grabs the bag out of your hands and takes it over to Santa, and Santa reaches in and he says, I think y'all might need this. And he pulls out a full-size door with a frame and sets it up against the wall. And he says, whenever you're ready, this will take you home.
So I'll pull the wand out and I'll say, this is what I came up with from reaching in your new bag.
He goes, oh, yes. So the bag gives you what you will most likely need in your next endeavor.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming there was a trap outside that you didn't need to use it on. I'm assuming, if it's still active. So I will say,
Yeah, I think your reindeer hit that.
you are welcome to keep the wand if you'd like. And you know what? Actually, he pulls out 2 more items and hands them to the other 2. And he says, "How about, you know what? Let me have that wand back. Let me get you something a little nicer." And from the bag, he pulls out a masterfully crafted lute, a beautifully
Ooh,
carved
nice.
quarterstaff, and a oh, what's the word? It's kind of like a nice holster for a spell book, sort of a chest holster for a spell book. And he says, "I think the 3 of these things would probably be a little more up your alleys."
Nice. We thank him.
He says, honestly, I thought you guys were gonna have to take him out. So the fact that you guys could do it peacefully adds just a little bit more to my gratitude. I would prefer not to be violent if I can help it, but you know, sometimes you can't help it. So I appreciate you.
All right.
Well, you're welcome, Santa. We were honored to be at your service.
Well, the honor is all mine, and you can be sure that I'll be fixing everything that's kind of gone wrong in the last little while. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. The solstice might be over, but you know, maybe the holiday spirit can continue on.
All right. Walk through the door.
You go and open the door, and
Oh.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree. I was going to go through the door.
Okay. As you open the door, you open it to find you are entering once again into the Jarl's study. This time, instead of from the fireplace, you are entering from the normal door to get into this room. And as you step through, Santa kind of gives you a little wink, and the door closes on its own. And behind you is no longer a door, but an open doorway in the Jarl's house. And as you guys step through, he stands up, the Jarl, and turns to you, and he just goes, What just happened? You've been gone for 30 seconds.
My Lord Jarl, please have a drink and sit back and hear our tale.
He says,
Good tidings
okay.
we bring.
You can see it's almost like the color has re-entered the world. Before you left, it almost seemed like everything was slightly desaturated, and you couldn't tell if that was just the mood or if it was maybe just a little cloudy outside. But when you return, everything seems to be more vibrant. The saturation in the colors is more bold. The fire seems brighter and warmer. And as you guys sit down, the Jarl pours you all a drink and says, "I would love to hear this story." And that is where we will finish this holiday one-shot.
That was excellent.
Oh, wow.
To be honest, I did not see a charm person coming. So I do apologize that you guys weren't able to experience some heavy duty combat. But you know, sometimes that's just how the dice roll.
Yeah, good move on that, David.
Oh,
I agree. I agree.
I'm actually surprised it worked.
So am I. Yeah, he
Max,
did
was
not
he a
roll.
toughie? Would
Yeah,
we have struggled?
Well, if you would have gotten into a fight, it would have been quite a fight. I'll give you a peek behind the DM screen, as it were. He was essentially a frost giant.
Ooh.
So it would have been a hard fight. It wouldn't have been impossible, but you guys probably would have had to get a little creative. And if he would have, I would have kind of rolled sort of luck checks to see if he was smart enough to think, you know what, I'm about to go into a fight. Maybe if I reach in the bag, something will come out to help me. And so I was kind of leaving it up to chance for that. But one of the things I had planned was a variant that frost giants can do is they have a weighted net, which he would have essentially used the bag as a weighted net to try and catch you inside the bag. And so there would have been some shenanigans to go with being inside of a magical bag.
Wow. Was that Great Axe +9 to hit?
It might be.
Whew.
It's just an
Yeah.
average of 25 slashing damage. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting fight.
It would have gone.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting. Yes.
And he had nothing I could heat metal on, so that kind of sucked. But what about the plan to kind of go down the hallway? I guess he would have pursued us.
He would have tried, but it would have put him at disadvantage for any sort of melee attacks he would have tried to make against you, because he would have to crouch down a bit. That was a good call as well. I wouldn't have seen that coming either. To be fair, though, I try not to think too much ahead about what the players could potentially do, because I like to flex my my improv muscles a little. So if I can just be like, all right, this is what's going to happen, and if something else happens, we'll just roll with it, then I usually roll with that.
Yeah.
I know my group pretty well. And no matter how many times I think I know what they're going to do, they never do it.
Yep.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
yeah, mine are too. And go ahead.
No, you go ahead and finish.
I was going to say mine are murder hobos too, and half of them don't like to do any role play. They just want to go in and kill.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that on a deep level. Yeah. Yeah, I have a few players who they are willing and able to roleplay, but they really enjoy combat. And so to kind of appease everybody, I will try to put at least a little bit of combat in every session, even if it's just like, just something or some sort of challenge that isn't 100% roleplay. That way, you can kind of dip your toes in, keeps you excited for the next session.
Oh, sure.
Everybody wants to be Matthew Mercer.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure. That's the worst. Right. 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 Yeah. I I try I've consumed so much D&D stuff between Critical Role and every other show and podcast. And so like I like to pick and choose what each DM does, and so I like to think I'm a bit of a combination between Matt Mercer and Brendan Lee Mulligan, who does the DM. He's the DM for Dimension 20. If you've never watched that, it's very good. His improvisation skills are immensely talented, just so much talent. But he is an improv comic, so you got Matt Mercer with his voice acting and in-depth world building, and you get Brendan Lee Mulligan with his improv skills. And I'm like, okay, if I could just take a little tiny piece of both of those, I'd be happy. So, yeah, voice is not great, especially with 100 different characters. When it's like, oh, cool, I'm playing one character, I'll do a voice, but NPCs, I get lost.
Oh, totally.
Very cool.
Well, certainly, if I'm going to say, I very much enjoyed it. I can't wait to listen to season 3 on your podcast there, Max.
Oh, thank you. The first real episode should be dropping. Let's see, what's today? Tuesday. It should be dropping in just a couple days. And we're going to be recording a couple more tomorrow. So it should be fun. I am excited because I'm trying to introduce a few different mechanics to kind of go with it, because the whole premise is that they're essentially playing as themselves, so they don't have to worry about role playing, but they're stuck in a video game. And so I'm going to introduce some mechanics that may or may not actually work. We'll have to wait and see, to kind of lend to the fact that they're essentially stuck in, Breath of the Wild or Skyrim. So hopefully it's fun.
Okay.
Not So Super Dungeon Bros. It's a mouthful. It's like I said, it's a bunch of just adult idiots trying to play Dungeons and Dragons. But it's funny at times if you are also a small child on the inside and appreciate childish jokes, 14-year-old boy jokes. Yeah, a lot of that's what she says. A lot of dick jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
typical stuff.
I've been listened to season 1, and I can totally tell you that's exactly right.
Yep.
It's a fun story, and I'll probably skip season 2 and go straight to season 3.
Yeah, season 2, got a little out of hand at some points. But with how the group kind of the scheduling and everything, it kind of got a little lost. So yeah, season 3 should be fun.
Max, is each season a different campaign?
Yes, they are all independent of each other. I
Okay.
know season 2 had some little Easter eggs to season 1, and season 3 will include some Easter eggs as well, but they're all independent of each other.
I'll have to give it a listen.
Yep. This is all a homebrew world. It's the world I'm actually playing in is the homebrew world I used for my home game, just because I had all the content already made, and I thought, why not? So, it's all stuff that I have come up with. Sometimes you you see something in a book you like and you go, hey, I'm just gonna borrow that and change it a little bit. But hopefully it's all original enough that it's not too boring.
Max, thanks again for hosting and DMing
Yeah,
for
of
us.
course. I was happy to. I actually I participated in the last one shot that How to Be a Better DM put on as a player when Justin DM'd, and as soon as it was over, I said, "Hey, I want to do that. Can I do that?" And he immediately said yes. So I was very excited and very happy to do it. It certainly was fun to play with people that I've never played with before, for sure.
Oh yes, and certainly I'm up for anything like this again. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And if everybody is a forever DM and wants to play, I am always willing to, throw